We are looking at requests for approval of the federal government 2025 to 2026 external borrowing rolling plan in the total facility and projects and programs under the borrowing plan of $21.5 billion and Japanese yen 15 billion and grant of 65 million euros respectively, and the summary of the breakdown is attached herewith. The Senate, in the light of the removal of the fuel subsidy and its impact on the national economy, approval is sought for the external borrowing plan. I want to emphasize that the projects and programs included in the borrowing plan were selected based on thorough technical and economic evaluations, as well as their anticipated contributions to the socio-economic development of the country. These initiatives aim to generate employment, promote skill acquisition, foster entrepreneurship, reduce poverty, and enhance food security, all of which will improve the livelihoods of the average Nigerian. The majority of these projects and programs will be implemented across all the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. In light of the significant infrastructure deficit in the country and the vast financial resources needed to address this gap amid declining domestic funding, it has become essential to pursue prudent external borrowing to close the financial shortfall. These funds will primarily be directed towards critical infrastructure projects, including sectors of power.
All right, as always, this one not just guessing at all. Just borrow and inshallah. And then the problem is you keep asking a country where subsidy has been removed from petroleum products, basically. A country where taxes have been increased and enforced. I can tell you, compliance rate for taxes in Bola Tinubu's government has been higher. And I would have given them credit for that if only we can see what these taxes are being used for. Yet, you are borrowing as much as $21 billion with several other 15 billion yen, several others in euros. For what? And then you say deficit infrastructures, deficit in poverty alleviations, that in the last 2 years, Nigerians cannot conveniently, of course, just say you are borrowing to do election. That's what it means. You are simply borrowing to prepare for election. Because no reasonable, and we are now fortunate to have one of the worst, most rubber stamp, clueless, dulless, valueless, worthless National Assembly ever. Akpabio's only job is just to be reading proposals, reading stuff from National Assembly without having sense to understand how are we supposed to defend. See, whenever you have a government that is not responsible to the people and accountable to government, to the people as well, you are at risk. Tinubu is wrong. Tinubu is living his best. See, there will never be a best time for you to be president in Nigeria to have this level of clueless, valueless people as in the National Assembly. I expected that somebody will be coming, either somebody from the budget office, somebody from any of these offices that is responsible to come and be explaining. If in case you are too scared to ask Mr. President to come, somebody should come to explain to Nigerians how on earth are you going out, what have been done with the previous borrowings, and then you are reading out a letter from him, best regards, and then you are not bothered to have a country where exchange rate is at its all-time highest, a country where price of commodities that we are naturally blessed with as PMS, where people do not have subsidy for it, yet the government is making all of this kind of borrowing that is the same. When I asked a couple of days ago, I think it was last week, when I made the video about the expose that budget, the civic tech organization that is taking its time to bother itself about how our public finances are being spent. When he asks that the National Assembly broke a law, right? And by law, the Fiscal Responsibility Act mandates the National Assembly to also have as a very important part of that document of requesting for budget approval, to meaning that you must explain how you intend to raise revenue for that budget. This is again from the fact that we've clearly had law infractions even in the figure and all that. Some people were raising eyebrows to say they know. Now you want to borrow to add up to budget so that you can use. And then when we look at all of this and it doesn't bother generality, or not generality, I think Nigerians are getting smart. A few persons, it doesn't worry you. As long as you are the one, anything it does now is okay. You are borrowing this much in a country where all of the borrowings that Tinubu have done since he became president, they are not visible. You can't see them. There's no sector. They are not traceable. They are not trackable. You cannot wake up now to say there is a need. Because then again, I'm asking, plus and minus these borrowings, all of the other money coming to this country, what are they being used for? We have a repatriation of monies from the Zani, repatriation of monies from Sani Abacha as recently. Godwin Emefiele started to vomit money, and now your subsidy is there, taxes are there, and then you are still making all of these borrowings. And like someone said, the problem is not even borrow, it's about what you do with the borrow. Imagine if all of this money being borrowed is to invest in critical security architecture of the country, invest in power, or invest in infrastructures that will help to stabilize the economy and help Nigerians to pull themselves out of poverty, by the way. Yet you are still going to carry money to be buying back groceries to share and say you are doing poverty alleviations and all of that. Shame on all of you that continue to enable this kind of useless people in your leadership circle. Shame on all of you.